Hi guys, it's Alta. Welcome to my TV guide, all about what I'm watching. And I have done my face because I am on my way to see No Good Deed in theaters. The movie came out last Friday, today's Thursday, so I'm almost a week late, but whatever. I'm gonna go with my movie buddy, my sister, and so I've been looking forward to this movie since the trailer came out. So let's hope it's worth the money and the food that I'm gonna buy. All right, see you in a little bit. Can I get one for no good deed?
One time duration
Yes.
or one adult? Yes. Thank you.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Initial reaction, Janine?
Amazing! Such a great movie. They did a really good job. Like the acting, the suspense. Yo, like at some parts, I was just like, I can't watch, but you have to watch because you don't know what's gonna happen. But it was good. You guys should go see it.
All right, and then I will go more in depth when I get home. But it was awesome. Go see it. Go see it. Go see it tomorrow. Go see it the last week that it's playing. Just go see it. Amazing, amazing. Best movie of the month. Best movie I think that I've seen this year. Oh wait, well, it was just great. It was great. Like, cause the last movie I saw in theaters was Hercules. No, this was amazing. So, No Good Deed starred Taraji P. Henson and Idris Elba. And like I said before, I've been excited to see this since the trailer came out. And then once I saw at the beginning that, by the way, this has a whole bunch of spoilers, if you didn't figure, so yeah. Idris and Taraji, I think they served as executive producers. They were either producers or executive producers in the movie. So once I saw that in the opening credits, I was like, okay, like the chances of this being a solid movie just shot like way up, because I know those two have taste. So Idris Elba, Taraji P. Henson. The movie was written by Amy Lagos, directed by Sam Miller. And it was just perfect, suspenseful, thrilling. I spent the whole movie leaning against my sister because I was just like, the tone was amazing, the lighting worked, the pacing was great, the dialogue was great, the acting was phenomenal. It was just beautiful. Okay, so Taraji plays Terry. It just plays Colin. Right off the bat, they're not even playing with you. You don't need to guess whether or not Colin is good, whether the trailer's wrong. No, the trailers were not wrong. The man is bad news. So he is in prison for involuntary manslaughter because and beforehand apparently like a couple of women had disappeared, and he was highly suspected, but they could never, like the prosecution or the state or whatever, couldn't put a case strong enough to take it to court. So they got him on involuntary manslaughter, and while that case was going on, they could not bring up him, those missing women, those dead women, whatever. So he went to jail for 5 years. And so here was his chance to be paroled. So he went before the parole board talking about he put together a class while he was in prison and it was doing great and blah blah blah. And so the parole was really buying this. He was like, oh, I was in a correctional facility, or I was in a state correctional facility, and that's exactly what I am today. I am corrected. And so the parole board was eating this up, except for this one man. He was like, excuse me, can I speak? This man is narcissistic. He's smart. Look at him. And he can very much get angry because Colin was like, oh, I don't get angry, blah blah, I made a mistake, I got angry when I was sentenced, but I should have been ashamed. And the man was like, no, anger was it. That was it, exactly. He's quick to anger. He's a malignant narcissist. And the other people like him are Ted Bundy and blah, blah. And at this point, Colin is about to lose it because the man is reading him, basically. Reading him, telling his truth. And his face is twitching. And I'm like, ugh. So I knew things were going to get serious. So I don't know why the security guard who was transporting him was on his side and was like, I'm pulling for you, Colin. Do you not know? I mean, I guess he thought, you know, he served his time. Everyone deserves a second chance. Well, all that got him dead. Like, why did they put that old man and that other man who looked like he couldn't do anything to guard this, like, buff, tall, muscular prisoner? He shoots both of them. And so then he goes to see his ex. Apparently she was his fiance. And the involuntary manslaughter happened because some man looked at her wrong, according to him, according to Colin. So he went ham on him and ended up killing him. And so he went to see her. I think her name was Alexis. She was played by Kate Del Castillo. And so that lady was scared. Me and my sister were like, girl, because he was like, have you missed me? Do you still love me? We were like, girl, say yes. Say yes. The answer is yes. And so she listened. She was like, yes, 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 yes. So this whole time she's doing everything right, you know, appeasing the killer. And then he's like, oh, I found this in your bedroom, because he was stalking the house before she got there, and it was a letter from a man that said, I didn't want to wake you because you're so beautiful when you're sleeping, blah blah blah. So I slipped out quietly. And then he was like, you didn't open these, and those were the letters he wrote to her from prison, 5 years. And she was like, he was like, how come you never wrote me back? She was like, because I couldn't find the words. I was like, girl. And so I think she runs upstairs, and then he corners her, and he's like, is this the bed where you slept with him, blah, blah, blah. And then she loses it. She's like, yes, Colin, this is it. Is that what you want to hear? Is that what will make you let me go? And all that stuff. And at that point, that's when she stops being smart. Because not only does she snap at him, but when he, like, sits and, like, has his head in his hands, she goes in for, like, a hug. Like, she holds him to her, like, her stomach and all that stuff, like, all nurturing. And I would have been like, so let me go get you some water while you're up here. Let me go get you some water. And I would try to slip out. Like, but she went and hugged him. And so he hugged her back, and then he reached up and he choked her out and killed her. So he's on his way driving, car wrecked. And here he comes in Terry's house. Terry is careful, but then, her heart, blah, blah, blah. It's raining. So she tells him to come in while he waits for the tow truck. He never called. And so he's asking questions, sussing her out and all that stuff. At one point she was like, my husband's not home yet. Because she realized, you don't tell the strange man that your husband is not home, okay? And so then he figures out that she has 2 kids and that stuff. He meets the daughter, all that stuff. And so, Terry had a friend, not Leslie. She was played by Leslie Bibb. Her name was Meg. I liked her. I wish that she hadn't, I wish that she hadn't died. As in, like, when it was happening, I was like, please don't kill her, because I really liked her. I love that she got his bullshit. She smelled it. She smelled the bullshit. And she was, because, Terry was trying to, not Terry, Colin was trying to pass it off like they were having an affair, him and Terry. He was like, oh yeah, we've been having an affair, and she just didn't tell you because and I realized, like, she was smart. She played him. She was like, wait, she told you that she doesn't trust me anymore? But we've always been so close. And so then Terry, Colin is like, yeah, she, my car wrecked, and I came straight here because I knew that Jeffrey, that's Terry's husband, he's all cold, and she'll say I love you, he won't really say it back, he's all snappy, only cares about his career. Basically their marriage was falling apart, and I knew that he was cheating on her. I knew chances were good, though I knew that I didn't think that was the story, but I believed that he was going to go see his father because it was his father's birthday. I believed it. And so, yes, Meg was like, you're so full of shit, Colin, because that girl is my best friend. I know everything that's going on with her, and she knows everything that's going on with me. So what's up? what is your real story? Because I've been asking you, what is your address? And you refuse to tell me, so what's up? And then she turns around. She's like, I'm gonna cut this shit right now. We're gonna find out who you are. She turns around to call Terry, and Colin's like, hey, and he hits her with a shovel. I was like, please don't let her be dead. But my sister was like, there's no way he's just gonna stop with that hit. And she was right, because next we saw poor Meg, she was all bloodied and she was dead. But so that's when everything gets started, because Terry had gotten up to go calm the baby. And so she was just amazing. She played this movie with 2 kids, just trying to survive and all that stuff. And so yeah, Colin was done trying to play around, because he comes out and Terry's like, where's Meg? And he's like, well, she left suddenly. And she was like just like that. And he was like, just like that. And she said, was she mad? He was like, I don't know her. There were a couple of lines that were super creepy, and they all came from him, of course, from Colin. There was that one who was like, I don't know her. And he said that twice, and both times were creepy. There was when Meg was over and they were all drinking in the living room, and at one point, Terry was like, he just broke up with his fiance and all that stuff. He's been through a lot. He's kind of feeling down right now. And Meg goes, do you guys know each other? And Terry goes, no. And Colin goes, yes. And I'm like, and then there was that one. And then I think it was after he killed Meg, or right before that. Anyways, at one point, Terry was in the room. She was changing and all that stuff, or she was taking something off of her. She comes out of the room. I think it was that scene. Anyways, at one point, she goes, who am I kidding? Her husband, Jeffrey. She's like, who am I kidding? He's not coming back. He's not coming back, or he's not coming home. And Colin goes, he's not what? Or something like that. It was so creepy. It's like, he says it so obviously and with such a straight face all of the time. All those creepy parts, he says it with such a straight face that it kind of helps in making it go over everybody's head, though not completely, because they always kind of both Terry and Meg will like pause and look at him like, what was that? But then they just brush it off. So when things get popping, Terry stops playing around. She wasn't playing with Colin. Yes, she was afraid, but let him get too close to the babies, and she was not afraid. She would like get in his face. I love the part where she found him playing with the girl, and she was like, where'd you get this necklace from? To the girl. And she said, Colin gave it to her. And she took that thing off. She threw it at Colin and was like, keep it. And then she went ham on him every chance she could get. No matter how many times he was like, after the first time she did it, he was like, you only get one chance don't you ever do something stupid like that again. Because she like bopped him with some object. He was her punching bag. He was her punching bag, and she went at him, and I like cheered every time. I got loud in the theater. The climax, like he would not go down. She kept hitting him. She hit him with a candle holder. She stabbed him more than once. And the final battle, the big fight, she took the key and she jabbed it into his wound. I was like, yes. And then finally, and when it looked like she was down for the count, when it looked like she had passed out, because he hit her back because she was on him, and so he backed up and she hit her back on something. She fell to the floor. Oh my God, the fight scene was freaking amazing. And so it looked like she was down for the count. His gun had fallen, and she had been trying to reach it, but she couldn't. But then he was stuck up, because I was like, oh my God, he's gonna stomp her to death. I knew she was going to die, but I knew that that's what he was planning, because he was out of weapons. I knew he was gonna stomp her to death. She turned around, grabbed the gun, and shot his ass. Me and my sister, we got loud in the theater. Shot his ass, and then she fight off a second round, and he was just stumbling back because he's a big dude. And so she got up, and then she shot him right out of the damn window, and he fell off the second floor. It was freaking amazing. She handled herself, because Lord knows that dumbass cop that she ran into on the road, when she flashed her lights, because he took her out of the house, Colin, her and the babies, the kids. Took them out of the house, had her driving, and so they went past his truck, who had been, he got into an accident, and they went past. He was like, don't even think about it. Don't do anything stupid. And so she drives on past because there were cops at the scene. And he was like, don't even think about it. And so they stop at a red light. Here comes another cop car coming the opposite way. And so he's hurt because she had stabbed him, Colin. She had stabbed him. And so at a moment where his eyes are down because like he's in pain, she flashes her lights at the cop, right? But then nothing happens. They drive on by. But then the cop stops for a second. I feel like she slowed down too. And at this point, Colin saw the cop. He was like, oh, damn. And then the cop puts on their light, turns around. And then when he got out of the car, I was like, I told my sister, he doesn't look like he's going to be able to do anything. Man, was he dumb. Where did he learn to become a cop? Where did he go? What academy did he go to? I'm pretty sure he's always the last to get called to go on the scene. That man was so stupid. I mean, I cheered when the little girl was like, Mommy, where's Daddy? I want to go home. Because Colin had taken the baby from the back seat and was holding it to act like they were a couple. But the girl was like, Mommy, where's Daddy? I want to go home. And so the cop was like, ma'am, please step out of the car. So he takes her to behind her car. Instead of going behind his car, a little farther away. So here goes Colin, who rolls down the window and is hearing every damn thing they're saying. And so Terry tries to pass it off like she's having an affair with Colin, cheating on her husband. But then the cop was like, ma'am, loud as fuck. Like, ma'am, why do you keep looking back? Is something wrong? Ma'am, why were you flashing your lights at me? I'm like, are you serious? Trying to get that lady killed. And so Terry was like, I can't say. And so he goes, don't move. And at this point, Colin's like, whatever. And so he steps out. The man tries to pull his gun. Colin pulls his out first, and he kills his ass. And then he rolls him down the little ravine place they were at. And he kept on going with Terry. Terry was on her own. Now, why did all of this happen? Here's Terry. So Colin takes her to the house of the fiance that he killed. Yeah? Takes her to the house. So at one point, her car alarm goes off. This had been a setup from early in the movie. Her car alarm goes off the second time in the movie. And so he has to go out to go fix it. He ties her up with some gauze, yeah? And at this point, Terry sees the body of the ex-fiance. So she's on the floor. And then the ex-fiance's phone that had rolled under the bed, had fallen under the bed, starts ringing. And so Terry knows she has to pick it up. And so she finds a broken shard thingy from when, because Colin had gone ham on Alexis, I think her name was, the ex-fiance. Ham, like beating her with like a lamp thing. After he choked her out, was like beating her. And so Terry gets free and she grabs for the phone. She's like, hello? Who's on the line? Jeffrey. Did you forget who Jeffrey is? Her husband. Told her some, babe, where are you? I'm at the hotel. At the hotel. He was supposed to go see his father. Lie. He went to the hotel to go meet Alexis or whatever her name was. All of this happened because Jeffrey was a cheating bastard. Because when Colin, remember I said that Colin, he was like, he saw the note. That said, I didn't want to wake you up because you're so beautiful and you're sleeping. On the back of the note was Jeffrey's name and address. Same house that Terry lives in. This all happened because Jeffrey is a dog, was messing with the wrong woman whose ex got out of prison, and he basically Colin was after Jeffrey, came, and that's why he was at the house. That's why when Terry said that, who am I kidding? He's not gonna show up. Colin was like, he's not what? He was like, I came here for this man. So Terry's like, your girlfriend's dead, Jeffrey. And Jeffrey's like, Terry? She's like, she's dead. Call the cops. Call the goddamn cops, Jeffrey. And so then Terry handles her business, saves her kids. She faked Colin out at one point, acting like she jumped out the window with her 2 kids. Girlfriend was hiding in the damn closet and made Colin go all the way outside because he thought they were outside. She was in the house. So at the end, the cops always come at the end. Jeffrey comes and he's like, not even, oh my God, are you okay? How are you? Where are the kids? Are the kids okay? No. First thing out of his mouth is, I'm sorry. You have to know she didn't mean anything. And Terry's looking at him Like, I'm looking at him, just like, and the tear rolls down her face, and then she reared back and punched the hell out of him. Short little Terry, Taraji P. Henson, that man was like, had a foot on her. She reared back and punched him so hard that he fell to the ground. I was like, yes, yes. And so she punched him, and then she like, you know, she turned around and entirely walked up the house because she has been through hell. The movie is freaking perfect. Like I said before, everything about it is perfect. Perfect. If you haven't seen it, I mean, I just ruined all of it for you. Go see it. If you have seen it, how freaking perfect was it? And was it the best movie of the year so far for you? Or was it the best movie of the year so far for you? It was just amazing. I loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, and I want to own it, and I want to see it again. I loved it. So comment, tell me what you thought, tell me what you loved, tell me your favorite scene, tell me if there was anything you hated. I didn't hate anything. It was just perfect from beginning to end, just the right amount of everything. So that's it for No Good Deed. Me and my sister, we got there in time for the previews, and we saw The Equalizer with Denzel Washington. That looks good. It's coming out on September 26th, and we have pretty much made plans to go see it. So I think that's the next movie I'm going to go see, The Equalizer. It looks really, really good. So let me also know what movie you're going to go see next, all right? So that's it from me. Gotta go and think about this amazing movie, okay? Bye. Thank you for watching.